Multiple people are dead after Hurricane Ian slams into Florida. Tonight, the impact and damage that storm left behind. And
this is a situation where if you can donate, help us, but also help us help the folks in Florida.
Floridians now picking up the pieces on the damage left behind. The local organization sending aid down south and what you can do to lend a hand. Then,
a former Dayton city official facing new charges. This comes after a conviction in a citywide corruption scandal. The new offense he's facing tonight.
And it's week 7 of Thursday Night Lights, the best plays from Preble Shawnee's win over Tri-County North.
Live on ABC 22, you're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
We're following breaking news as we start the newscast tonight. These are live pictures from outside the Marathon gas station on Needmore Road, where officers issued a Signal 99 or an officer's call for assistance during a traffic stop. We're told during that traffic stop, they say they heard gunshots. Officials telling us tonight that officers did not fire any shots. However, one person was taken to the hospital. As we continue to learn new information here, we'll update you on air and online.
Live pictures from Madeira Beach, Florida. This after one of the strongest storms in recent memory made landfall on the state's western coast, sending ocean water onto land and hitting the area with 150-mile-per-hour winds. Now that storm continues to move north tonight. This is a live look at the radar. You can see the storm is moving through southeastern Georgia and South Carolina as it weakens to a Category 1 hurricane.
Now that storm has moved away from Florida. We're starting to get a clearer picture of the damage that was left behind in the state. We have team coverage tonight covering that storm and the ways you can help from right here in the Miami Valley. But first, we want to go to Stephen Quinn with the latest from Fort Myers.
The damage from Hurricane Ian here in Fort Myers Beach is simply catastrophic, and it is the same dangerous story on the other barrier islands. Right now, the only way to get north to Sanibel Island is by air. Coast Guard, planes, and helicopters right now running rescue missions to anyone who still might be on those islands. For those who made it out of Hurricane Ian, they are grateful.
The winds were so strong, you couldn't even come out your house. If you would have got blown down.
Judy Curry has called Fort Myers her home all her life. She has friends and loved ones here, but she doesn't know if they're alive.
I got a phone, but it won't let you call nobody.
The death toll is uncertain, but public officials have said they do expect fatalities as they brace the public for the true scope of Hurricane Ian's toll. The storm surge left Brian Peck waiting through his Fort Myers Beach home until he was forced to retreat to the second story as the storm surge inched closer to where he was.
I think this is going to change the Fort Myers Beach forever. It's a whole new, so many things are going to have to start over. It's going to take years probably to get back to normal.
The work begins right now here in Fort Myers Beach. This bridge now shut off to anyone except crews working to try to clean up and assess the damage here, and it is certainly catastrophic. In Fort Myers Beach, Stephen Quinn reporting.
Now, President Biden's issued a major disaster declaration in parts of Florida to levy federal resources to those pummeled by the hurricane. In his address, he says 100% of the cost to clear debris and rebuild will be covered.
This could be the deadliest hurricane in Florida's history. The numbers are still unclear, but we're hearing early reports of what may be substantial loss of life. But we know many families are hurting. Many are hurting today, and our entire country hurts with them.
More than 5,000 National Guardsmen are positioned to help rescue and clean up efforts. The federal government may also include grants for temporary housing and home repairs, along with low-cost loans to cover uninsured property losses.
More members of Ohio Task Force 1 are headed to Florida tonight. 47 members of the search and rescue team have boots on the ground, and 36 additional members are on their way to join in on the rescue efforts. By tomorrow morning, the task force personnel are going to be helping Floridians pick up the pieces of the aftermath of that deadly hurricane.
Because of the intensity of this hurricane, I suspect that we will be involved in some pretty serious operations over the next 3, 4, 5 days down there. I'm really hoping that we don't turn into like our deployment last year to Florida.
Now, the team should arrive in Florida between 4 and 6 in the morning. It's unclear how long they'll be on site to help.
Well, many people across Florida are still picking up the pieces tonight. Local organizations are now asking for you to look for ways to help. Clara Faith is live in Dayton after speaking with the American Red Cross and Community Blood Center about ways that you can help. Clara.
Here at the Community Blood Center, efforts are being made to encourage locals to donate blood in order to save lives in Florida. Officials say this is crucial now more than ever.
Blood centers and their donors across the country come to the aid of Florida and the situation with Hurricane Ian.
According to experts, it's a limited supply of blood across the nation and the Miami Valley. The Community Blood Center's public relation manager, Mark Pompilio, shares he hopes that this will motivate people to donate.
That we're all being asked to help out. That way we can go to our donors and say, we know we're in low supply, but this is a situation where if you can donate, help us, but also help us help the folks in Florida.
More than 700 Ohio volunteers from the American Red Cross are in the Florida region. Some of them are from the Miami Valley area.
We had 33,000 people in 260 evacuation shelters. Our volunteers, including our volunteers from Dayton, are down there helping in those evacuation shelters.
There will be about 10 people from the Miami Valley in Florida, according to the American Red Cross Central and Southern Ohio region.
We're going to start sending in more volunteers from the Dayton area and for the rest of Central and Southern Ohio. So I expect the number of our volunteers to grow significantly.
An emergency response vehicle from the American Red Cross of Dayton is scheduled to leave for Florida tomorrow afternoon. 2 more Dayton volunteers will leave from Cincinnati this weekend.
Now, if you would like to contribute to the relief efforts in Florida, you can go to the web version of this story on Dayton247.com, where I included a list of all donation options throughout the Miami Valley. Reporting live in Dayton, Clara Faith, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
Claire, thanks so much. And continuing to track the impacts of Hurricane Ian now, while the storm won't reach the Miami Valley, we still could see some of the remnants. Natalie is here in studio tonight tracking the storm. And Natalie, what could we see here?
Well, as early as tomorrow, we're talking about an increase in cloud cover from Ian as it continues to travel northwestward. So we saw, of course, Ian make landfall as a Category 4 storm, weakened into a tropical storm. Now it has made its way back over the Atlantic Ocean, and it's strengthening even more. So it's back up to a Category 1 hurricane status with winds of 80 miles per hour, wind gusts of 100 miles per hour, and it's set to track northwestward. A forecast to make landfall somewhere along the South Carolina coastline, just north of Charleston, and then bringing significant impacts, of course, to the coastline there. And then right here in the Miami Valley, as it travels to the northwest, it will begin to weaken, and we'll also see some clouds, some showers, as well as some gusty winds right here in the Miami Valley. So we're going to be tracking Ian very closely. Impacts here will be fairly minimal, of course, when you compare to what they've already experienced and what they're expecting along the east coastline. But here's a look at what's going on right now. Kettering Hill Skycam. It is quiet, it is calm. Currently 48 degrees. Dew points in the lower 40s. We got those 40s across the board, so it's a chilly evening, even cooler than this time yesterday, and will continue to drop into the lower 40s overnight. I'll have the rest of the week's forecast coming up.
Natalie, thanks. A former Dayton City employee is facing numerous charges related to child porn. Roshan Winburn has been indicted with voyeurism, endangering children, and pandering obscenity involving a minor. According to the Montgomery County Prosecutor's Office, the victim discovered a hidden camera that was used to spy on her. Winburn formerly served as Human Relations Counsel's assistant administrator for the city of Dayton. He was previously charged with wire fraud and public corruption in a citywide corruption investigation.
New tonight, the state of Ohio reporting its first monkeypox death. Ohio Department of Health officials not revealing where in the state that death happened. This is likely the second recorded death from the virus in the country. As of tonight, there are 276 confirmed cases in the state.
A new reading of U.S. gross domestic product confirms that the economy shrank during the second quarter of the year. The data is reigniting the debate about whether the U.S. is in a recession or if one is still coming. National correspondent Dr. Al Nashar has a look at the numbers and how they're impacting you.
A basic principle of economics playing out in real time. The market hates uncertainty. Stocks taking another hit Thursday with the 3 major indices in a bear market. Investors scrambling to find safe investments that will hold up against aggressive moves from the Federal Reserve, slowing the economy to lower inflation.
Until that happens, we're going to see, I think, a lot of volatility in the marketplace in all directions.
Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic and his colleagues at the Federal Reserve have tough calls to make. Do they wait and see how their aggressive interest rate hikes affect prices? Or do they charge ahead with more and risk slowing the economy into a recession?
We can't have a healthy economy. We can't have good labor markets over time unless we get back to price stability.
A third reading of second quarter GDP out Thursday confirms 2 consecutive quarters of decline, which is one definition of recession. Banks continue to adjust their assessments. Wells Fargo's latest is there's not a recession now, though it expects one early next year. But the Business Cycle Dating Committee at the National Bureau of Economic Research, widely considered the referee of recessions, looks at more than just GDP when making the call, factoring in things like the job market, which continues to prove resilience. Weekly jobless claims hitting a 5-month low, but the shortage of workers is fueling inflation. Wages are rising, but pay isn't keeping up with high prices, a fact that's central to Republican platforms less than 6 weeks till the midterm elections.
Our citizens' buying power after inflation is lower today than it was the moment President Biden put his hand on the Bible.
President Biden hitting back during a fundraiser Wednesday, saying if Republicans win in November, the first thing they'll do is repeal the Inflation Reduction Act, increase drug prices, and just go down the list. It's a fight to stabilize the economy and convince voters they're the party that can get it done. In Washington, I'm Atrel Nashar reporting.
A jury has been selected in the seditious conspiracy case against the Oath Keepers, and we can expect the trial to begin.
And a rescue caught on camera the moment an Orlando reporter sprung into action to help save a woman stuck in the storm.
Plus, I'm tracking about Hurricane Ian's impacts right here in the Miami Valley, what we could see that's coming up. Here's a live look from our Kettering Health Skycam. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
New tonight, the wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas appearing before the House panel investigating the January 6th riot. Jenny Thomas is a conservative activist. She agreed to the voluntary interview. The committee has been trying to speak with her for months. They want to know more about her communications between top Trump officials in the weeks after the election, including John Eastman, who came up with the theory that a vice president could overturn election results.
Her discussions and coordination and text messages to Mark Meadows, as well as specifically to John Eastman. She had conversations and was messaging John Eastman. We want to ask questions about that. We think that that's fair, and we plan to ask those questions of her.
Now, Thomas did not answer any questions from reporters, but said she looked forward to answering the committee's questions.
A jury has been selected in the seditious conspiracy case against Oath Keepers founder Stuart Rhodes. 4 of his associates will be standing trial, among them Champaign County woman Jessica Watkins. The panel of 12 jurors and 4 alternates were chosen today after days of questioning to avoid bias. The stakes are high for the Department of Justice as it tries to prove Rhodes spent weeks rallying members of his far-right group to use violence in order to keep former President Trump in power. If convicted, they face up to 20 years behind bars. Opening statements are expected to begin Monday.
Caught on camera, take a look at this. A reporter in Orlando seen rescuing a woman who tried to drive through the floodwater. The woman says she's a nurse who became stuck while trying to get to work. Reporter Tony Atkins, then you see there, carrying her on his back out of the water.
And local churches are now stepping up to provide relief to help those devastated. Epiphany Lutheran Church is collecting money to help. Church members will be at Centerville's Fall Fest this weekend to collect donations. The church says the money will go a long way to helping people recover from the damage.
It's a long-going effort. Like you think about even in the Dayton area locally, how long it's taken to have recovery efforts for the tornadoes. So this is going to be something that's going to be going on for a while.
The church will have a booth set up at the festival from noon to 5 p.m. They say 100% of the proceeds will go to the Lutheran Disaster Response Team to assist those who are impacted. You can also contribute online as well at theepiphanydayton.org.
Well, we will see as early as late tomorrow some cloud cover from Hurricane Ian right here in the Miami Valley. But this is a look at what we're talking about for tomorrow, because today was nice. Tomorrow's going to be even better. Great day for a motorcycle ride. We're going to start out with temperatures around 9 a.m. in the 40s and then getting up into the upper 60s, lower 70s by tomorrow afternoon. Lots of sunshine is in the forecast, so just plan on a really nice day for tomorrow. But this is what we're going to be focusing on in our forecast. Chilly night tonight. It is going to be another pretty cold one, so you'll need a jacket, something to keep yourself warm tomorrow morning when kids head out at the bus stop. But a gradual warming trend is in the forecast, as well as the remnants of Ian. We're going to see some impacts of Ian right here in the Miami Valley with 40s and 50s out there right now. 48 Bell Fountain, 48 in Dayton. We have 50 in Springboro right now. Cold spots in Richmond at 43 degrees with skies mostly clear. But notice just to our southeast, cloud cover making its way into West Virginia right now. This is from Hurricane Ian back up to Category 1 hurricane, winds of 100 miles per hour. So expected to make landfall along the coast of South Carolina as a Category 1 storm. Now, this will continue to track northwestward, and we will see cloud cover, breezy conditions, as well as even some showers from Hurricane Ian right here. So this is a look at what we're tracking overnight. We'll drop into the lower 40s, upper 30s, so feeling pretty chilly. Heading into our Friday afternoon, we do start to see more cloud cover begin to build its way into the region and into the evening as well, with temperatures back into the 50s and 60s. Now, not quite as cool Friday or Saturday morning, thanks to the clouds that are building in. Temperature-wise will be in the 50s and 40s, and then we start to see the winds kick up, as well as a couple of showers become possible by late into the day on Saturday too. So this is a look tomorrow afternoon. Some wind gusts between 15, maybe up to 20 miles per hour for our southeastern counties, but the winds really begin to pick up as we head into our Saturday. Check out our wind gusts by our Saturday late morning. We're tracking 30, maybe up to 35 mile per hour wind gusts, which will remain to be the trend through our Saturday evening. And this will be because that area of low pressure, remnants of Ian traveling its way northwestward, will start to bring us some of those impacts right here. And temperature-wise, fairly comfortable. So when we think about really nice weather, a lot of times we're thinking about 70-degree temperatures, and that's really what we're expecting over these next several days. 68 for our high temperature on Saturday, 70s by our Monday and Tuesday. But for tonight, we will drop down to our overnight low of 42 degrees. Tomorrow, 70, sunny, just really nice. We do start to see some more cloud cover by our Friday evening, with our extended forecast showing a chance for some showers, those breezy conditions this weekend, and then staying in the 70s through much of next week.
We want people to know that there's free, confidential resources, and they're available to anyone.
Ribbons for resources and awareness. Why local organizations say it's so important for the community.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
University of Dayton students hanging purple ribbons around downtown with the YWCA, all to recognize Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Every October, dedicated groups of volunteers hang purple awareness ribbons around Dayton and Preble County. The ribbons contain resource information like a 24/7 hotline. The main goal is to spread awareness throughout the community about the presence of domestic violence in the area. They're also meant to show the community about the resources available if you find yourself in a domestic violence situation.
We want people to know that there's free, confidential resources, and they're available to anyone, whether it's yourself or a friend, because if 1 in 4 women experience domestic violence, then we know that many people who are going to be watching this is going to be a personal issue for them.
The YWCA will be at the Greene next week, hanging more ribbons and spreading their resources.
The Dayton Metro Library is hosting a community health event next month called Music and Mammograms. The event will be held on October 8th at the West Dayton branch. Mammogram screenings will be available from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Registrations for the screenings is required. Activities like music giveaways and children's face painting will also be provided. Private bra fittings and guest speakers will be at the event to provide health information as well. To register, you can call 937-281-4829. Well, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and Dayton 24/7 Now is going pink for the Women's Wellness Fund. Be sure to join us Wednesday, October 5th for an all-day telethon to raise awareness for breast cancer treatment and cures. You can donate now by texting PINK to 345-345 or by scanning the QR code on your screen.
Another week of Thursday Night Lights in the books. We break down what it took for Preble Shawnee to win big over Tri-County North.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 Now.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Week 7 of Thursday Night Lights took us to Camden. Preble Shawnee hosting Tri-County North. It was a Western Ohio Athletic Conference battle. Fireworks early in this one. Midway through the first quarter, the Arrows, they strike first. Brody Morton loads up and finds a wide-open Malachi Stevenson. 7-0 already for the Arrows. Early second now. The Arrows are going to go to the ground. That's number 22, Grady Hutchison. Great stiff arm, breaks a tackle. He's in. 14-0 the score at that point. The Arrows then driving again. Morton's going to fire one deep, find his guy Stevenson again. 20-0, Preble Shawnee well in control. Tri-County now, they need to get something going. It's 4th and 6. They need a big play, and they get it. Logan Flory rolls right, finds Garrett Hutchison in traffic. Great play, 20-7. They're back in it. The Arrows, though, would immediately respond. Morton launches another deep ball, finds Stevenson again. His third touchdown of the first half. 26-7 Arrows at that point. Less than a minute to go before half. The Arrows, they hand it off to Braden Doran. He's in 33-7 at the half. Final in this one, Preble Shawnee rolls 54-13. We want to go to Matt Digby now, who is down the field for all the action.
For the first time, Thursday Night Lights coming to Camden and Preble Shawnee High School, a major opportunity for the Arrows, and it was one that they would take full advantage of, scoring 8 touchdowns on their first 8 drives of the contest. That would set the tone for a 54-13 homecoming win over Tri-County North, and it was a great night in particular for senior Malachi Stevenson. He was one of the players very excited about Thursday Night Lights coming to Preble Shawnee High School, and he made that excitement count with his enthusiasm on the field. 5 touchdowns total, 4 receiving and 1 on the ground, and when all was said and done, it was the Arrows celebrating post-game with the TNL trophy.
Coach, a big homecoming win, an explosive night of offense. How is the team feeling right now?
They're feeling very good right now. I'm very proud of these guys and how they performed tonight.
You say you're proud of the team, and I know you're especially proud of this guy right here. What an explosion on offense. What do you have to say about his performance tonight?
Unbelievable. He played his heart out tonight and did a great job.
Let's hear from yourself. What went on there tonight?
I think it was just the overall team thing. You know, I have to shout out my offensive linemen and then QB1 and then all my receivers because we all get the job done.
Like you said, you all got the job done. Last thing I ask you, Coach, you had a lot of seniors who played really hard out there tonight. What did you say about all those seniors?
Oh, I love these guys. They're a great group of seniors, and I'm going to miss them. I'm trying to savor every moment I have with them this year.
Well, I'm going to let you guys get to celebrating. I know you got your homecoming dance this weekend. It is time now to present you and the whole team the TNL Premier Health Champions Trophy. Coach, here you go.
Thank you.
So with Thursday's win, Preble Shawnee now moves to 5-1 on the season. The Arrows currently 9th in the Region 20 rankings. They're looking to move up into that